Hello everyone and welcome back to the Devlog. Today we are once again starting with a time lapse. Two time lapse actually. The first one is me adding buttons to every door, something that I said I would do later in the last video, but I did not do because it's very boring, tedious and long to do, especially since I have to connect every single signal to the corresponding door, and because I'm kind of clumsy, I might have sometimes picked the wrong door or the wrong function to connect the event to, and so on. So but it had to be done, so I've done it. The second time lapse that you'll see in a few moments is me in Trench Broom. This is the first time I'm going to show you what the map looks like in Trench Broom, but this time it will be dedicated only to me adding vents and pipes and plumbing all over the base. It's something I wanted to do. In terms of aesthetics, I think it really adds something, and also because most of the lights are fixed on the ceiling, right? And that most of the pipes are on the ceilings as well. And if I want to put lights, I need to put the pipes beforehand, right? Because logically the plumbing in the base would have been installed before the lights, so that a pipe doesn't block a light or something like that. So that's what I wanted to do, because I wanted to put the lights in. The reason I wanted to put the lights in is because and I'll show you later in the video, is I've finally put to use the computers that I made in the last devlog, and they're used to control the power in the station, and I'll leave future me to talk about it in a few moments. I'll leave you with the time lapse. This time I'll add music, because last time it was kind of how do I say, boring without the music, and jarring also probably. This time the music, I chose a song that I discovered while reading the Wikipedia article for Beatles, especially the section on the Beatles, the insect, not the band, obviously. Beatles' relationship with humans, and I discovered that a people in Papua New Guinea used big ass beetles as a music instrument. I just realized that this song is not nearly long enough to last the whole time lapse, so I'll actually put another song. I just wanted to pop in and say enjoy the time lapse and this royalty free music that I found online. Alright, and welcome back. I hope you enjoy the time lapses and the songs, especially the Kevin MacLeod. Let's get into the real information heavy part of the video. So, I've done a few things I've done a few things since last time, and I want to show you pretty much all of it because I think it's important. I've added some lights. I'm not going to show you every single one of them, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. I didn't add lights to the whole station yet because I want to do something like some emergency lights or something like that, but all these main lights have been put in, and I think they're here to stay. I haven't added this type of lights to the cafeteria, obviously, because it has a huge skylight, and I haven't added them to the crew quarters either, because I don't think having this kind of light in my room would make me very happy. So I'll design another type of light that's more cozy, maybe some yellow lighting, and something a little bit more home-like than this very lab thing, you know. I haven't added it to the lab, actually. I just realized I need to. Anyway, so don't mind the many errors. The game works. It's what matters. Anyways, one of the biggest thing that I did was adding all the buttons. No. Was making a computer. So I'll jump into the game to show you because I think it's a bit more I'll show you in the game. Alright, we're in the game. So you can probably notice right away that I've added a little pointer in the center of the screen that indicates roughly where the raycast, the 3D raycast works, so that it's a bit easier to, you know, gauge if you can click on a button or not. Also, top left of the screen, I've added an indicator of what you're doing when you can interact with something. So here it's push button. I've made it so I can customize. I can add it to pretty much any item, and it's customizable. And you know, it's probably not going to stay in the top left, although I kind of like it, honestly. It was supposed to be a temporary solution, but honestly, I don't mind it. But if I find a better place to put it, I put it there. So these are a few small things that I did. Also, another thing that I did was make a hotbar for the character. I want the character to be able to access some items from his inventory from a hotbar, like Minecraft, kind of like Minecraft or many other games, to be honest. But I don't want it to be constantly on screen because it's a bit busy otherwise. So what I did is that when the player move their scroll wheel, the hotbar appears and slowly fades away. It was pretty simple, pretty easy to do. I've yet to add any functionality to it, and I still need to make a bit of a frame around the icon that's selected, and I also need to make it so that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can access each of these hotbar icons. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the maintenance area of the base to show you what I really did and what took most of my time since the last video. So first of all, something I'm quite proud of, but that took me a little bit of time, is making a ladder. So this ladder is fully functional. What I did is not create a ladder model. What I did was create an area that is climbable, so that I can, in trench room or anywhere, create a model for what I want to be climbable, and then I had the area in Godot, which with a customizable 8 box, and so that the player can climb anywhere, and it's easy to add, etc. So I've made it. It's pretty simple. You look up, you go up. You look down, you go down. So yep, I'm quite proud of it because I was always afraid of making something like that, because it would have to do with a lot of geometry and trigonometry. But honestly, I think I did quite well. Anyways, the main subject, because that took me maybe an hour or two, but what took me the most time was making this, the table. No, I'm kidding. It was making this. So this interface is used by the player to manage the power output in the whole station. So what I've done so far is I've created two power grids, a power grid with the doors and a power grid with the lights. The player has a set amount of power to work with. I've put like way too much that when I test, I'm not like limited by gameplay elements, right? But basically, every light on the grid and every door on the grid has a set power that it needs to function, and you need to allocate this amount of power into the grid, right? And it takes away from your power from your overall available power. I've set it so that it's the grids are fully functional, but because it's I wouldn't be, if I took away all the power from doors, I wouldn't be able to open doors, is what it does. So for example, I've taken away all the power from doors, and the buttons don't work anymore, and it doesn't open or close, which there's probably going to be some gameplay elements in the future where opening and closing doors is important, a bit like faster than light is what I was trying to do. I was trying to do like something a bit like faster than light, except that in faster than light you need, obviously, because you're in a spaceship, you need to manage oxygen so that it doesn't leak out, and so you can block out intruders and stuff like that. I kind of want to do something similar, but obviously without the oxygen element. Maybe if someone leaves the door open, heat propagates, and you lose heat efficiency and stuff like that. So it's something to consider. I haven't decided completely yet. Maybe I don't add any utility to it, and it's just for fun. Is something I'm considering. But it's kind of like a proof of concept, right? Same for the lights. If I remove all the power from the lights, I'm gonna go downstairs to show you some lights, because there aren't any lights up here, because it's a maintenance area. I don't want to put big neon lights. I want it to be a bit cozier, right? Okay, as you can see, the lights are off. So again, I don't have any utility for the lights turning on or off. Honestly, it's probably because if I want to decrease the power available to the player as the game goes on, I want to give the player a little bit of leeway, like so they don't have to resort to removing heat or stuff like that straight away. They can remove lights, because lights are not that important when you could die from freezing, right? So that's what the lights are definitely to give a little bit of leeway, and also a little bit of comfort, right? Because if you manage to retrieve power after you lost a lot, and you manage to bring the lights back on, it's definitely something comfortable. It's a good feeling, in my opinion. So that's something I've done. I'm going to add obviously a lot more of different power grids as I create new appliances to connect to the grid, obviously. If you're wondering why the computer doesn't turn off when there's no power, it's I mean, this computer will never turn off, obviously. Otherwise it's game over pretty much, because the rationale behind it is that it's on a separate backup power grid, and it never turns off. If it turns off, you're dead. So that's pretty much why it's always open and on. I'll add other computers later that can turn off, definitely, if they are not essential, obviously. Or if they are essential, obviously, maybe they would be able to turn off because of low power, but I need to figure out a gameplay loop before I can do anything. Also, there's no keyboard and mouse and no like actual computer. I'm going to add that later. It's just for the feels of it, you know. It's just so it looks better. So it's not that important to me yet. I'm trying to figure out the gameplay loop before I make it look pretty. So that's pretty much all I did while since the last video, to show you a little bit of how it works behind the scene. How it works behind the scene. Let me resize that. So how does it work behind the scene is what I've done is I've created groups, node groups up here, and I've added different power grids. There's a global power grid to know to calculate the overall power, and there's different power grids depending on the appliances. Lights are obviously on a different power grid than doors. I think I'm going to create specific power grids, and as I go, different groups as I go, depending on what feels right more than what actually is logical in terms of electrical engineering, right? I want the game to come first, obviously, before these minute details of electrical engineering. I don't know how to do electrical engineering anyways, so I wouldn't be able to make it realistic. So I think I'm not going to go into too much detail in the code because it's boring for me. So I think that's going to be it for today, honestly. I look forward to keep working on this game and see you in the next video.